This is LKJ Sports. My name's Clayton, and I got here with me LJ and Leo. This episode, we're going to talk about NFL. We're going through the playoffs, doing a review of this past week, and then doing a preview for this conference championship week. I just wanted to bring up, if y'all are listening, please subscribe. We appreciate all the subscribers. We did gain some this past week, so please subscribe. All
Hit
right,
that subscribe button.
so I'm going to hand it off to Leo to do a little review.
Man, divisional round week, man. It was weekend. It was crazy. You know, we'll start with we can go in order of how the games were. We'll start with Kansas City, Houston. We were in the text, we were in the chat, razzing each other, giving each other hell about it. But hey, I mean, Mahomes is Mahomes. We know this. But if you can hold Mahomes, I think he had 172 yards passing. Hey, that's a win, man. Hey, Stroud didn't play bad. Joe Mixon ran the ball well. The defense played good, right? But what it comes down to is you're missing kicks, right? And you have to make the plays when they're there, right? That's what it comes down to. When you play the Chiefs, you almost got to play a perfect game, right? Because there's going to be calls that didn't go your way. And I know we discussed this. I personally think both those roughing the passer penalties were not penalties, right? They came in extended drives, right? Led to points for the Chiefs, right? But you got to make the plays that are there. Stroud, you can't miss throws, right? Your receivers got to catch the ball. The rook, like you said, first game all season, they throwing him a ball, he drops it. You can't have that when you're playing the Chiefs, right? I know it's a lot of pressure, but you got to play perfect. And the thing with the Chiefs, why I really feel like they're gettable this year is they're not blowing nobody out, right? Mahomes is not putting up these gaudy numbers, right? Kelsey had a great game, had over 100 yards receiving, right? Pacheco and Kareem Hunt ran the ball decently, right? But their offensive line is gettable, man. They put Tooney out to left tackle. Your boy Will Anderson was giving him fits right now. Does everybody have a Will Anderson? No, I give you that. Everybody does not have him. But he was giving them boys fits, man. Him and Daniil Hunter both coming off the edge, man, just giving them boys fits, right? Like I said, it was a great game. I really did like the Texans' game plan, right? I wish Stroud could have been a little more aggressive. I wish they would have incorporated Mechie a little more, like we talked about. And because, they're going to take away Nico Collins because he's that guy and he's all you got with the injury to Diggs and Tank Dell. But Schultz had a couple disappointing drops that I was kind of disappointed in. But overall, I think the Texans, they carried themselves valiantly, man, but they're just not ready. They're just not ready for prime time yet. And I think they could use a couple more weapons, definitely rebuild that offensive line. That offensive line is, and, I know, we're just giving our analysis, so we're not taking personal attacks, and we're just comparing these people to their peers, which we're entitled to do. But that offensive line is atrocious. They're awful. So CJ Stroud was getting killed, man. They gotta get that offensive line taken care of because they got the pieces. If Diggs is a free agent, but what you got Nico and I don't know the extent of Tank Dell. I know what his injury is, but I don't know the extent of his timetable to return. I was reading he may not even come back next season. So they definitely could stand to get some more weapons. The defense is solid though, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe get another backer and maybe another corner to help out Lassiter and Stingley. But I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like the Chiefs are gettable, man. We'll get into that a little bit later, but I just feel like they're gettable. And then we'll go to the line. We'll go to the Lions and Commanders game. Jared Goff, man. I don't know what to say, but you get me. I guess you can call me a hater, but I just feel like it's honest. You can't turn the ball over 4 times in the playoffs. You just can't. I know the Lions offense is super explosive, but you just can't turn the ball over like that. And they're silly, silly turnovers. You know what I'm saying? Just silly turnovers, killing their team. And another thing that I thought was so weird, David Montgomery had missed 3 games, right? MCL injury. Came back. And they're feeding this dude the rock like he's been playing. When you got Jameer Gibbs there and he's getting you 8 or 9 yards every time he gets the ball. Why are you not continuously giving him the ball? I don't understand that. They kept trying to feed Montgomery, but what I think that came down to, man, is I just think their defense, man, they were just ravaged with injuries. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't get a pass rush. Meek Robinson got hurt in the first quarter. Their other corner opposite Terry Arnold. You know what I'm saying? Carlton Davis out with a broken jaw. You know, all their other corners are gone, right? And then you're bringing in these other dudes who are just getting cooked. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what to say about Jaden Daniels, man, other than nothing phases that dude, man. Nothing phases that dude. As a rookie to be that calm in the pocket, and when you got people rushing at you, he just stands there and delivers the ball with such precision, such accuracy. You know what I'm saying? Such confidence, and I respect it a lot. You know, and their defense is it's okay, but it's good enough. It's one of those classic bend but don't break type things. You know what I'm saying? They got some guys. You know what I'm saying on the defensive end. They can come after get out the quarterback a little bit. You know, Dan Quinn got a couple of his guys that he coached, like with B. Wags and Dorian Armstrong and Dante Fowler. He's got some of his guys that are playing good football for him. And it's one of those things. What I always like to say about playoff football, man, you can be one of those people who you play average during the season, or people can say that you're not really that. But what we always talk about, and I know y'all give me a hard time about it, but what I truly feel in my heart, what makes you great is when do you show up? Moments, and that's what I'm talking about. When I'm talking about greatness, I think of moments, right? Do you show up when your team needs you the most, right? Anybody can put up numbers in the regular season, right? But do you show up when they need you? Those players are showing up when they need them, right? Jaden Daniels is showing up. You got to give him credit. He's a rookie playing like a 10-year vet. Does not make mistakes, right? Knows when to throw the ball away, gets down, doesn't try to play hero ball, right? And he got B. Robinson, Eckler behind him. You know what I'm saying? Zach Ertz, Mr. Reliable. Hey, as long as you got Jaden Daniels, you got a shot. Let's move to Sunday. Let's move to Sunday. Oh, I can't wait to get to that last game. But I'll start with the Eagles. I'll start with the Eagles game, though. We'll start with the Eagles and Rams. Saquon. I don't know what the hell the Rams are doing. I don't know what they're doing. I know the Eagles' offensive line is great, but you knew Jalen Hurts was on a bum wheel. I don't understand. You got to put 10 people in the box. You cannot let Saquon beat you. I don't understand that. I just don't get it. It's not even that, hey, he's so good, he's going to get 100 yards, but he had 205. He had 205. And he's breaking 60, 70-yard runs. Like, you can't have that in the playoffs. Let's keep it honest with the bad weather. Matt Stafford played great in that game. He played well enough for them to win. You can't let Saquon get off like that. Jalen Hurts had what? 130 yards passing? Come
Yeah.
on, man. A.J. Brown had a few drops. Saquon is the reason they won that game. You know Jalen Hurts is even if he wasn't on a bum wheel, he hasn't thrown for a bunch of yards all season. Make Jalen Hurts beat you. Don't let Saquon if Jalen Hurts throws for 350 yards and 5 touchdowns, you shake his hand. Hey, good luck. See you next season, right? Because he hasn't shown you he can do that. Saquon almost broke the rushing record. He showed you what he can do, and that offensive line is dominant. So, but I gotta give props to Matt Stafford, man. He played his ass off. He played a great game. And I'll say this one last thing before I move on to this last game. To the life of me, I will not understand what that center and right guard were doing at the end of that damn game, letting Jalen Carter go free. He is the best player on that defense. If anybody needs to get blocked, you need to block that dude. I will never understand why they just let that dude go free and he wrecked the end of the game. I will never understand it. But hey, Jalen Carter, props to you, man. You're a monster. Hey, now the game of games. I know we'll probably have some interesting conversation about this. Bills Ravens, right? My two favorite players. I was torn. It's like a star-crossed lover, man. I'm torn between two people. I didn't know what to do. Now, my prediction was right. I predicted Bills was going to win. But I already know, and I'm not trying to get ahead of y'all commentary, but I can't wait to push back on this whole Lamar's fault why they lost, right? Hey, I'll be the first to admit you can't turn the ball over in the playoffs. You just can't. You just can't. And that is on him. And he even admitted it in his press conference. That's on him. You can't have that when it comes to playoff game. Any mistake is magnified in the playoffs because it's just every little thing matters because the teams are too good and the details are too tight, right? But this whole narrative that Lamar is the reason they lost, no, 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 no. They was down 21-10 at halftime, and he brought them boys back, right? And at the end of the game, hey, Mark Andrews, I wouldn't wish that feeling on anybody. My worst enemy, the worst player in the league, I would never wish that on. That's a lonely feeling, brother. At the end of the day, you got to catch the ball, man. You're an all pro, one of the great tight ends in the league. You got to catch the ball. I don't care what nobody say. You got to catch the ball, right? Now that fumble that he had, Terrell Bernard, that punch out, I think anybody in the NFL probably would have fumbled that ball. That was a great damn defensive play. But at the end of the day, you still got to hold on to the ball, right? Hey, you can
He
shake
didn't
your
tuck
head. That
it.
was a great defensive play. You said what?
He didn't. He didn't tuck it. He should have tucked it.
That was a great play. He hit right on the ball. That was a great
Yeah.
play.
No, it was the hit didn't even create so much the loose ball. It wasn't like a. It wasn't like a like that.
Hey,
It was. It was
yeah,
like a. No,
hey, give Bernard
he
some
should have
credit,
tucked
man.
that ball. He should have tucked that
Give,
ball.
give Bernard some credit. That was a great defensive play. But at the end of the
Oh,
day,
really good. Yeah.
right? At the end of the day, in my opinion, right? And we all got opinions. The reason they lost is because they stopped giving the ball to Derrick Henry, man. The dude only had 16 carries. It's not enough. I'm sorry. I know he had a rough first half, but he was starting to get going. And Derrick Henry was a second half guy anyway, right? That's what he does. He's a second half back anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's who Derrick Henry is. Todd Monken did the same thing in the AFC title game last year against the Chiefs, man. They didn't have Derrick Henry, obviously, but why are you not running the football, man? Why are you not running the ball? I don't understand it, right? I know we want to say Lamar. The interception, hey, bad read. He overthrew him, right? But that one didn't hurt him. The fumble, I'll give you that. But go back to the Bengals game earlier in the season. Lamar had the exact same play where he got tripped up, where he dropped the snap, picked it up, and he threw a touchdown. All I'm going to say is this. That fumble that he had, it's a love-hate thing with Lamar. I agree. It was a bad time for that to happen. It can't happen in the playoffs. But that's part of what makes him great. And you have to live with that. That's part of why he's probably going to win his third MVP, right? It's plays like that, right? That's what makes Lamar great. So I just don't understand this Lamar hate, man. That was one of his better playoff games that he had. If you go and look at his playoff stats, he's had horrible playoff stats. He didn't play bad in that game. I know he had the fumble and the interception. That's on him. But that second half, and I'm the biggest Josh Allen fan you're going to find. In my opinion, he's the best player in the NFL. Lamar outplayed him in that game. I'm just keeping it real. Lamar outplayed. Josh Allen just didn't turn the ball over. That's why they won, right? But that doesn't mean he outplayed Lamar because he didn't.
Disagree.
But he
Okay.
did. Okay, you can say whatever you want. Lamar outplayed him, and I'm gonna take that to the bank. But yeah,
One
man,
winner,
that's
one loser.
I agree. That's my recap of divisional weekend, man. Great football. This conference championship weekend is gonna be even better, man. And I just look forward to it, man. It was great games. But you know, my underarching theme and my takeaway from this past weekend is turnovers, man. Turnovers. You can't have them. You can't have them. No matter how good you are, no matter how great you are, you can't turn the ball over in the playoffs. You just can't. What you got, bro?
Yeah, it's good football. Good football for sure. Some predictions I had did not pan out. Start off, I was really thinking Rams to pull this one out. It kind of upset the Eagles there. Didn't happen. As you said, yeah, Stats played good ball, man.
Is that weather?
I thought he could get it. It's not weather. I
But he played
thought,
great.
yeah. Again, it's not. I don't think he it's not like Stafford threw the game like that, right? I think he had a really good game. They lost. It wasn't exactly what I wanted to happen, but I mean the Eagles are a good team. Saquon Barkley is that guy, right? Saquon Barkley has proved that he is best running back in football currently now. I mean, you could argue Derrick Henry. I would
No,
say
you can't.
I think it's 1-1, depending if you want who's going to consistently get you 5 or 7 yards versus who's going to break out and get a lot of yards. It's just kind of, I would take Saquon personally. I think it fits in the offensive scheme, but not trying to downgrade Derrick Henry at all. I think those two are proving in the
He's going to
playoffs.
Hall of Fame. You're not downgrading him.
Yeah, I think those two are both proven in this year in playoffs. Hey, running backs, we deserve to get paid. Had they used, like I said, had the Ravens used Derrick Henry the way they have on most of the games they won this season, 20 plus carries, they probably would have won the game.
I agree.
So I don't know why they haven't figured out a formula. Like they realize when they give him less than 20 carries in a game, they typically lose. So I don't know why they would change the game plan for playoffs in a cold weather where running was obviously being pretty effective. But yeah, no. So sorry, back to the Rams and Eagles. Yeah, that was obviously projected for Eagles. I think they were going for it, but I just really hope to see an upset there. Was not expecting this next game to be an upset. Was not expecting the Commanders to take out Detroit. I really wanted to see Detroit go all the way, be in their first Super Bowl. I think this had a really cool story behind them. But as you said, man, turnovers, and he's won with 5 turnovers or 4 turnovers in the season, right?
Can't do it in the playoffs, though.
Can't do it in the playoffs,
Can't
right?
do it in the playoffs.
Can't do it there.
No.
So, and I mean, hats off to Jay Daniels, man. Like I said, that rookie is, in my opinion, proven, right? This where he's at. You could say I think he's the best rookie out of that class. Some people will still argue that Caleb Williams.
Sure.
Some people will still argue Caleb Williams because there's maybe raw talent. And I was like, yeah, maybe. In my opinion, good college player. Probably still be a good pro. I just don't think he's going to be able to catch up to Jaden Daniels. It is just one season in the books, but that is just my early prediction with this kid. I think he is just he looks solid. I'm very curious to see what phases him. So that was a sad one for me for Detroit. Was kind of rooting for them. I know I'm a Chargers fan, but I want to see Detroit go there and get their first Super Bowl. And it just didn't happen. So hats off to the kid. Love seeing my old former Charger running back out there, Eckler, making a good run, getting out there and maybe make the Super Bowl, at least obviously make the championship. So that's fun to see. Fun to root for. Former players on former teams. Get to see them. Get some glory and have some fun there.
You and this Chargers stuff, man.
Hey man, it's my team's all in it. I got to find people to root for and cheer for. Was it Chiefs Houston? Game was a lot closer than I think I thought it would be. I really thought the Chiefs were going to steamroll there. I knew Houston had a chance, right? The defense, I think, definitely was going to be the biggest obstacle there. I don't think the Chiefs played good football. I don't see them. I think there's still somebody. It's the Chiefs, right? They're probably still going to find a way to win in the games that are important, but which they keep doing. They keep somehow finding a way, whether you want to say ref calls in their favor, or they're just that good, or they are selling their souls to the devil for another championship, and they're just making everything happen for them. I mean, it is what it is. You got arguably one of the best quarterbacks to ever do it on the team, best tight end on the team. You got
no argument about
defense. So I mean, like they got the stuff to get it done. Phenomenal coaching staff all around there. So they're always gonna be a threat. It is what it is. There, they won this week, so hats off to them. I actually I was watching that game with some Chiefs fans, and I had a Chiefs jersey on. Didn't want it on me. They threw it on me. So yeah, there was that.
Whose jersey?
It was Travis Kelce, and actually right after I put it on, he scored a touchdown. So the whole bar was very much LJ. You can't take this jersey off. So
can't wait to hear what happens Sunday. They're gonna be some angry people.
Oh man, we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, I'm on your side with that one. And then yeah, the Bills and Ravens game. I predicted the Bills to win that. I don't think Lamar played badly. I'm not gonna sit here and trash Lamar overall. I think out of the two quarterbacks, I trust Josh Allen more than I trust Lamar, and it's not
Who played better in the game? Who played better in the game?
I still want to give it to Josh Allen because he didn't have to go. He played a smart game. He played a well calculated game, and maybe you go that more that coaching route. Yeah, you can go more on the coaching route with that too. But he executed the plan that was provided to him, and they didn't have to come back from nothing. They didn't have to make risky plays. They didn't have to get the 2-point conversion. They didn't set themselves up to be reliant on other things and other factors to get them to where they needed to be. They played consistent football, ground and pound, go for it, get the lead, play the clock, get the win. and again, like Ravens didn't use their weapon. They didn't use Derrick Henry properly. That's coaching. That's not Lamar, right? Unless it's run pass options like that, and he's trying to do something different. Maybe he is. I don't think he really was that game. So that's coaching. So OC and head coach really need to figure that out. Yet you paid for Derrick Henry. Why would you not use Derrick Henry in the most important time to use Derrick Henry?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go for it.
What did Josh Allen do better than Lamar in the game?
Well, for one, he played a clean game.
I'm asking. I'm just answer what I'm asking. That's all.
That was
Played his role and position effectively. Yeah, he played clean game. Played his role
turnovers.
effectively.
No turnovers. What else?
He played the position that was asked of him, the way it's supposed to be played, cleanly,
What else?
efficiently, and without any frills.
I know, but I need some quantitative data. What else did he do better than Lamar Jackson besides not turning the ball over?
I mean, I think that's the most important stat, obviously, in this game. Turning the ball over is what
You're
cost
right.
them the game.
But can you? That is not why they lost. That is not why you literally said you're not gonna put on Lamar. Now you saying that's why they lost the game.
I'm not saying I'm not blaming Lamar. I'm saying that the turnovers, because as you said, you can't turn the ball over. You said this not even a couple minutes ago. You can't turn the ball over in the playoffs. Who played a better game? The guy that played
Lamar.
the ball.
Lamar.
Lamar's out of the playoffs.
Cleaner does not always mean better, brother. Cleaner does not always mean better.
Just because you think he's going to be the next MVP, I think any MVP candidate would trade in their MVPs for Super Bowl rings. And he's proven it. He's proven it time and time again. Yeah, he's an MVP, but he's not a Super Bowl quarterback yet. Am I wrong? You think I think Dan Marino would trade in all of his stats for a Super Bowl ring?
He doesn't have a ring, but he's a Super Bowl quarterback.
I think he will be. In his era, if he does it, it'll be sad. It just honestly will. He's talented as hell. Yeah, he's talented as hell, right?
It's tough because,
but he's in a
the AFC is loaded with good quarterbacks. So
Lamar,
Joe Burrow,
Lamar should go to NFC.
Honestly, later in his career would be an interesting move, but
he has a better chance. Well, Stafford's there. Stafford's there, so I don't know.
Again, I don't want to dog on Lamar, but I mean, your opinion, you think he played a better game than Josh Allen. I disagree. I think Clayton disagrees. I think Josh Allen didn't have a frilly game. It wasn't like, oh, look at Josh Allen throwing up 80-yard bombs or going for 80-yard runs. He played consistent, good football with the game plan. Again, his coach probably executed the game plan out to him. Like, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to run the ball. We're going to take the clock down. We're going to just give these little short games. We're going to go for it. And we know that they cannot come from behind. And that's what they did.
One last thing, and then
post game. That was in the post game. Didn't McDermott, right. He talked about, we didn't play flashy. It wasn't flashy.
Right. Do what you got to do to win. That's what you have to do against the Chiefs.
All you guys' points are valid, right? Mm-hmm. But where you're losing me is you can be on a losing team and still outplay someone. You're making it sound like just because the winning quarterback does not always mean he played better. In the Super Bowl, we just talked about it. Hurts and Mahomes. Hurts outplayed Mahomes, but he lost. In the divisional game, Josh Allen and Mahomes. Josh Allen outplayed Mahomes, but he lost. Mm-hmm. Right?
And again, in those examples,
it's possible to say somebody got outplayed. Josh Allen's the best player in the NFL, in my opinion. He got outplayed.
But you gotta look at the second half. He didn't have to do as much.
Yeah, you're judging him because
but the times that he had the ball, he was 3 and out.
Run, stop. I mean, just control the clock. I mean, once you're ahead, man, your quarterback doesn't have to do as much. Like Mahomes. If Mahomes gets up by 7 to 10 points, you're going to see Pacheco and Hunt get the ball left and right. Mahomes has less than 200 yards, and you're like, oh, Mahomes had a bad game. No, they took control of the game.
It's not about the yardage. It's about impact on the game. You can throw for 150 yards and still play a great game. I'm saying your impact on the game.
With that argument, though, Lamar's impact on the game was
what?
Turnovers.
He had one turnover that led to points, and they lost by 2 points. The interception they didn't score off that, so it matters. But at the same time, it didn't. But at the same time, it didn't matter. The fumble they scored off. I agree with you on that.
Momentum, though. Sacked twice. He got sacked twice. Josh
Josh
Allen only
Allen
got
got
sacked
sacked.
once.
He got
Again,
stepped on. He
And
got
I'm not.
stepped on the third and goal when they kicked the field goal to put him up 8.
Yeah, again, I'm not saying that Lamar played an awful
so they
game.
could have
Like
won by more, is what you're saying.
No, what I'm saying is, all I'm saying is, y'all continue to say Lamar Jackson's turnovers, but for some reason, I never hear y'all. Nobody wants to say, yeah, Mark Andrews should have caught that ball. Nobody says that for some reason. I don't understand that.
he
It's
played a
a
game that made him in that position where he had to catch that ball. Josh Allen could have thrown that pass and he could have not made it, and he still would have won the game. Played a better game of football.
So
If you put yourself,
Mark Andrews deserves no blame, right?
he deserves some blame for sure, 100%. But at the same time, Josh Allen had himself in a situation where he's ahead, and he didn't have to make these crazy throws or these. If they miss it, we lose type plays.
Crazy throw. He threw a 2-yard
pressure
pass
makes
to
a
the dude.
difference.
No, but make it or break it. Yeah, it's that. Hey, win or lose, you got to catch the ball. Josh Allen didn't have any win or lose ball moments because he controlled that game.
Okay.
That's where again. I'm not saying Lamar played bad. Like, dude, he played phenomenal. He had a couple mistakes, sure, but I still am going to give it to Josh Allen. It's just leg up because again, you could call it coaching. Again, I'll give it to coaching if you want to go that route. Like the game plan that they set up, it just worked. And he executed it, which is why I'm going to give it to Josh Allen because he executed the game plan given to him. I think Lamar has that ball in my hands, ride or die. Winners want the ball mentality, and sometimes it costs them. Right? I think there's other quarterbacks in the league that have the same problem.
Okay.
He didn't execute the game plan given to him.
Herbert.
Maybe he did.
Herbert.
Herbert's guilty of it. Jalen Hurts is guilty of it. Joe Burrow's
He didn't
guilty of it.
execute the game
Mahomes is
plan
guilty
because
of
he
it.
dropped the ball. Okay, bro. All right.
No, I'm not saying that. Maybe again, fumbles happen. They suck, right? It wasn't the best snap.
That's my point. Yeah, I agree.
No, they do. But again, that's why I'm just going to give it. I'm giving the leg up to Josh Allen, not because just
Okay.
turnovers, because in my mind, viewing it, he executed a game plan, probably to the T. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that he did a lot wrong that game based on if, like I said, if I was the coach of that game, I feel like that's the game plan that was provided, and he did a great job executing. The whole team did, right? Not just Josh Allen, right? The whole team was a very good execution on that. And that's why I give it to him. We're gonna see Lamar in the playoffs next year. We're gonna see these same guys in the playoffs next year. And the offseason, depending on who they pick up, who they drop, who they lose, is going to be a lot of determining factors on where these guys go. As we've seen, Lamar Jackson has just gotten better every offseason. Started off where he wasn't considered a very good, accurate thrower, passer. Now he's really, really good runner outside the pocket, really good, scrambling quarterback, and he's accurate with the ball. And another offseason, he's going to get better. So, hats off to him, man. If he wins his MVP, I hope Josh Allen wins it personally, but I think NFL's in a spiral of let's get three peats and 3 MVPs. So
Don't start. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Just saying. But Clay, what you got?
All right, so let's go. All right, I'm gonna start with Kansas City and Houston. All right, so like I said last week about Kansas City and the whole matchup with the Texans, Houston has a bad offensive line. CJ Stroud got sacked 8 times. You cannot have that happen and win a game. Like
Okay.
it's just that bad. 58 yards 8 times. And I understand he was behind, and I'm not blaming him alone. Like it was mostly a offensive line, I would say. And yes, they need to get that offensive line better. That's their number one weakness. Even when their receivers were injured, even though they had Tank Dell and Diggs were out, And so moving on to the receivers, Houston, right? How are you going to play a first-time receiver, Wayne? How are you going to play him? Why did he see the field? I don't care. I don't care about game plan. I do not. Oh, making it a mystery, and putting him. He got 2 targets. No, no. Do not put him on the field at all, unless it's a run play. Maybe if he's better at blocking, I don't know. But then you had Hutchinson also come in and get a bunch of targets, and like he got the most targets. Let me dig deeper into him, but I don't even remember him really. Like why is he getting targets? I don't I
Especially when
don't
you got Mechie.
understand. Mechie's the guy. They need to give him the opportunity to be the guy. As far as like a third receiver, you obviously got Nico Collins, who I think is like a easily
5.
top 5 easily receiver. He, you know, he can always create, and then a good team always has a good tight end. Always. You look at what happened this past week. How many tight end touchdowns, receiving touchdowns, out of all the receiving touchdowns? It was like 3 to 4. 3 out of the 4 or something ridiculous stat like that. Tight end scored touchdown. Let's see. Because
Kelsey, Zach Ertz,
Kelsey, Zach Ertz,
Sam Laporta caught one.
Laporte one. Yeah, yeah.
I don't. I think Andrews. I think Andrews caught one. I know Isaiah Likely caught one. I don't know if
Maybe.
Andrews caught one.
I think
Likely
Andrews got
caught
up to
one.
the goal line. Like you said, he was close,
Yeah.
like right up there.
So a good team, like a solid team, top 3 in your conference, whatever, has a good tight end. They have a good tight end. That's what I said last week with the recipe, right? Get your tight end involved, stuff like that. Look what happened this week in the playoffs. That's what it's about. The rest were pretty much touchdowns wise were quarterback sneaks or running backs. There was one. I feel like one receiver got a touchdown.
McLaurin had one. He had that
Yeah,
long
McLaurin,
screen pass.
which was a screen pass, so it
Right.
wasn't even like a
Right.
downfield. So
Right.
teams need to start looking at that and value your tight end. So the tight end should be like I'm not gonna say second receiver, maybe a third at least. At least, if you want to be considered for a Super Bowl, in my opinion, you have to have a tight end that can get you there, that can be a third receiver. Otherwise, you're not there, and that's talking about the Chargers. That's one team. Um, there's been several games that Texans didn't get Schultz involved really,
Right.
and I'm just like, no, you have to get Schultz involved. You have to.
Yep.
He got 4 targets. They spread the ball around too much. Usually I like spreading the ball around, but to your key guys. I don't even know who Irv Smith Jr. is. He got a target. These people are getting targets, and I'm just like, no. Give it to Mechie. Mechie got 2 targets, and he should be the third receiver. As far as
Not
like
even close. For
wide
sure.
receiver, he should be the third.
Well, the second now with everybody injured.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Defensive line, blitzing Kansas City. Bad matchup. Like I said last week, it showed sacks. The flags. Two things I have to say about that is Texans have been not disciplined all season, and they can get over aggressive. You need to find a way to avoid penalties of being over aggressive. You really need to, I know it's not in when we're watching the game, but one of them, the ref was behind the defender and he threw the flag because he couldn't see. He couldn't see what we could see. And so I'll give it that. That's understandable. The other one, I mean, yeah, I'd say, Mahomes was on the ground area and he slid late, but you don't have to do that. You don't have to make that tackle. You don't have to make those hits. You really don't. You can find a way around doing that. I don't see other teams doing that. Like, I don't see them being over aggressive like the Texans can be. And I'm like, make smart things. Like, this is the playoffs. This is what, I understand it was late and all these other factors, but as a defender, you don't have to do that. You didn't have to do those things. You could do it, not lead with your head, basically. Don't lead with your head. Lead with your hands or do something different to make that happen. It didn't have to happen, even though it was not the right call. Because you leave it up to the refs, and humans are humans, It's that simple. And this league is very protective of the quarterback. The other third one I saw was, I don't know if y'all saw, Mahomes on the sidelines. He flopped.
A huge flop.
He
So
flopped.
he's done that a
They,
lot this season. Again, he
they didn't
plays the
flag.
role.
They didn't flag that one though.
Right.
Yeah,
Which
he was looking for it though.
it started to make me think about NBA and how players, they try to influence the refs. These professionals are professional. They'll take advantage of whatever they can in order to get a flag. I mean, we see it in the NBA all the time, get a foul. So I don't see it as like as dirty as some people think because it's in the NFL. It's in the NBA too. Like, it's the same thing. It's professional sports. You do these things they don't really enforce flagging the quarterbacks. So until then, don't try to create it to where the ref has to make a call. That's, I feel like, said in sports all the time. Like, don't leave it up to the refs, Don't do that. And so that was my thought on that.
Especially when you're playing the Chiefs.
Yeah,
You got to play perfect.
I mean, Texans talked about it. They were like, "Oh, we knew going into the game." Well, if you know going into the game, don't do risky things.
It's heat of the moment, man. It's adrenaline, heat of the moment. It's hard. I feel it's hard to back off.
The best players in the world do that though. They find a way to hold off.
Yeah.
So Commanders Lions. I predicted the Lions because I like them playing inside and at home, but they just didn't deliver. I think one thing I noticed with them is they don't really spread the ball that much around. I mean, out of the list of players or teams I was going through each playoff, they don't really spread it as much. But in the playoffs, you might want to narrow it down. Honestly, I don't mind that. They still scored 31 points.
It's enough to win.
Yeah, it's enough to win. Goff, and I just can't trust Goff, man.
You can't. You can't.
I've said it in past episodes. He has these like,
you have been consistent with that.
Blunders, and Detroit. I can't trust Detroit. They have to create a story. I saw it on a podcast this past week. You have to create a story, and I feel like Detroit's story last year was stronger than this year, in my opinion. Winning last year, like, as much as they did, coming from, yes, their regular season had a good record, but it really comes down to the playoffs. It really does. And it kind of faded. Their story faded a little bit. And I think Jaden Daniels' story is stronger. You got to have something new, right? Out of all these teams that were left, he's the something new, even though he's surrounded by veterans. He's surrounded by a whole bunch of veterans, and I think that's the key to his success is he's surrounded by veterans that can take care of him and help him in all the different ways. Eckler, Ertz, like I said, a good tight end, a solid tight end. He's a really good tight end, like
Scary.
yeah. Eckler is a great short game. You gotta have your short game, and he's a great short game back. Like that's and then McLaren, like he's I think he's a top receiver in the league, like one of them, up there.
Mhm.
Like he can create, make things happen. Like, and so it's a good recipe for them and you know how it works with him, and he's got nothing to lose. Right now he really has. If he has a bad game next game, no one's going to say anything. They're going to be like, "Oh, he's a
No,
rookie." They're not going to say
he's
anything.
proved himself for sure.
Definitely playing with house money.
And my only thing, and I'll always say this about rookies: once you get more tape on these players, more tape you get on them, the more they're going to be looked at, and that's why there's always a sophomore or not always a sophomore slump, but a sophomore like possibility of a slump because you start getting tendencies. You analyze the player more. So I'm not going to give him superstar status at this point. Um, he's had a great season, yes, but it also helps that he's a rookie. They don't
Mhm.
have as much tape on him. So let's give it some time because you never know when some other player comes through and takes his thunder. You know, we'll see if he can win a Super Bowl. Like give it some 3 or 4 years. If I just think he's surrounded by veterans and that enables him to be successful in a way. He's still good, of course, but you got to give it time in the NFL. Like you cannot just and it goes the other way. Like Caleb Williams, give him some time, give him a line, give him some things, to help him be successful. You know, would he be better on the Commanders this year? Would he be a better quarterback than this year on the Bears? I think it would have definitely
Well,
helped.
For sure. Yeah,
I mean,
the parts you have around you definitely matters.
yeah. And I think
yeah,
he would have had a more successful first season. Not maybe as
we'll
much as
never know.
Jaden Daniels. Yeah, that's true. But
And
maybe
his
not as much as
division is
Jaden
hard.
Daniels.
His division is hard too, with Minnesota and Detroit and Green Bay.
I was like, as the AFC West and that division are going to be scary. I would go that say that's rough.
Yeah, okay, so let me move on to the next game. Let's see real quick. Rams, Eagles. Yeah, the I think the cold weather slowed the Rams game down, offensive game down. Fisk on defense also got hurt. He didn't play most of the game, and he's a good, I think, defensive line.
Tackle.
Yeah, tackle.
He's a good player for sure.
He's a
Jared
rookie,
Verse was
and
killing them boys though.
yeah, verse killed him. And I think it was just bad momentum for. Well, no, I won't say bad momentum for Rams because they did get on a hot streak.
He
Um,
did.
I just think just maybe that game just was bad. It's just not there. It's you come from LA to the Philadelphia, and it's already hard to play and win in Philadelphia. So and then you got cold, the snow, that was more fitting for the Eagles to win, in my opinion, with Hurts and with Barkley. You know, Barkley went off 205. So Stafford did what he could, and that's just how it went. Eagles are a great team. They're one of the best in the NFC. I think they're easily going to make the Super Bowl, but
It's fair.
yeah.
Let me hear this Lamar take, man.
Hig,
Go ahead.
Higby was one of those tight ends that got a touchdown too.
Yeah. Yeah, he played well.
Who's some Colby Parkinson, backup
Yeah.
tight end, also got a touchdown. So all these tight ends got touchdowns. So let's just remember that. All right. Let's see. All right. The big Bills Ravens game. Yeah. Playing the Bills, you can't turn it over. It's that simple. You know, when you do that twice, it's just, you can't do it. You know, Bills, especially how the Bills played. They played sound. They played basically like, I wouldn't say, I'd say like medium risk. They played medium risk. They didn't play like safe, but they played medium risk. They didn't play high risk, and they easily took control of the game. Here's the big stat for me. You know, I talk about double digit play drives. You know how many? Let's see, how many did the Ravens have? Double digit play drives. 0. They had 0. And that's my thing. What did I say
How
about
many the Bills have?
Let's see. 1 the first drive. They had 3. They had 3. And 2 of them were at the end of the game. So that was important at the end of the
How
game.
many points they win by?
2.
Okay.
But they were in control of the game all game. You know, and so that to me, like I said, keep Josh Allen off the field. If you want to beat Josh Allen, keep him off the field. Because they won. You know, it's that simple. They won. Another thing that got me was Lamar's rushing. It was only 39 yards. For him, he's got to do more if he wants to be dominant in the game. Because that's his
What did Josh
style.
Allen have? What did Josh Allen have? You got the stats pulled up in front of you?
Rushing, Josh Allen. He had 20 yards, but 2
Exactly.
touchdowns. 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns.
I said the rushing touchdowns is where it's, but yeah, no.
What was his rushing touchdown? A quarterback sneak? Come on, bro.
I
Come
don't know.
on now.
But he helped
Don't
get
hate
it there.
don't hate
He
the player,
helped
hate
get
the
it
game.
there. He helped
Okay.
get it there. And so when you play the Bills and you play a top team like that, you cannot turn it over. You have to tuck the ball when it matters. Take a sack. It's fine. I know you're Lamar, but take a sack if you have to. Tuck the ball. And that's what he's tired of. That's what he's like, I'm tired of turning over. Well, because you don't tuck the ball, Lamar. You don't. And in my opinion, let's go by the play-by-play. The drives at the end in the, like, they were scoring, right? 7 plays, 80 yards, and all of them were Henry.
Big chunks.
Henry. That was one of the touchdowns. Their second to last touchdown. Okay, the fumble drive. Lamar, Henry, tush push for Andrews, so that's Jay Hill. And then Lamar did a deep pass, and that's what
Likely.
T. Bernard
I think
fumbled.
Yeah, I think Terrell Bernard, yeah, he caused a fumble with Mark Andrews. That's what I was about to ask you. It's funny how when both of y'all, the first thing y'all say is
Oh yeah.
the Ravens had 2 turnovers in the game. For some reason, I don't never hear y'all mention the Mark Andrews fumble. Never. For some odd reason, I don't never hear that fumble mentioned.
Well, he was the second guy. He was the guy that also, but then, okay, so if he's rattled at all, one thing, that pass could have been better. I mean,
Which
it's
one?
catchable. The Mark Andrews pass. It could have been better. Like, the way Lamar was, you could throw a better pass. I guarantee you Josh Allen would have threw a better pass. He would have threw a better pass.
Or
You just
at a minimum, I already know this just from watching it. He elevated his players enough where they would have caught it.
I find that hilarious.
He's
Man.
just a better elevation quarterback. He just elevates his players better than Lamar Jackson for key moments.
Hey, you know what? Lamar Jackson had 2 turnovers. That the fumble, interception, nothing. But the fumble, you're right. That's on him.
Yeah, see,
But
Josh Allen, if he made that throw, he wouldn't have let him fumble it.
you're never convinced me that Andrew shouldn't have caught the ball and that the fumble was on him. Go read his Instagram post. That tells you all you need to know.
Nah, it's definitely a two-way street for sure. I think both would have wanted
I'm
either
just saying it could have been better.
catch and a
I'm
pass.
just saying
Yeah,
it could have been.
Lamar
better.
probably says, I
Yeah,
could
the
throw
only
a
way
better
he could
pass.
have only way he could have thrown that better is if he did a handoff. Come on, man. Stop.
But again,
Come on, man. These are NFL players. You got to make that play.
Shouldn't have been in a position to
You
have
can
to
say
make
whatever you want. I know it's hard. I know it's hard on y'all. You know Andrews dropped it. Period. Ain't nothing else you can say.
I know, but
you can
he shouldn't have been in a
try to
position.
spin it. You can try to spin it any way you want. Andrews dropped the ball. Period.
Yeah, I understand. And it was a pressure situation, which as a team, they should have prevented themselves from getting in a pressure situation. But to relieve some pressure, you can make a better pass. I mean, you can.
Or you can get the ball to Derrick Henry more. How about that?
Definitely a huge factor. I said coaching was definitely an aspect of that game. The game plan they had, 100%.
Because that's what I said. That's what I said last week. I was like, Derrick Henry's going to lead us to the win. And that's what I predicted. And
instead, Lamar led you to the loss because your coaching decided not to give the ball to the running back.
Well,
Lamar led you to a loss.
I won't
he
say
literally
that.
drove you down to tie the game, but he led you to a loss.
I won't say that. I won't say that.
I'm just poking a bear.
I will say it's less risky to run the ball. Well, I guess that's a 2-point play. That was a 2-point play. So
I probably wouldn't run that one. Yeah, on that 2-point play,
but
that's a big run. Was that? Yeah, I don't think he would have broke that because he was getting shut down in some situations. That's definitely you got to pass it. I think Mark Andrews is a very good target for that pass.
What I would have maybe did is maybe get Mark Andrews involved. Before that, oh yeah, he scored. Pass short.
He scored on the touch push.
Pass short, right? He actually did catch a pass.
Yeah, I knew he did.
Right
I knew he had caught one.
Right before that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he caught a touchdown.
We got to the goal line.
Him, Bateman, and Likely.
For 19 yards, he got a pass.
Yeah, he caught a pass.
He's not cold then. I was trying to give him some, but
I know y'all was. I was gonna let y'all dig your own grave. Hey. Andrew dropped the ball, period.
No, he dropped the ball. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. He dropped it. I think, but both parties are probably saying, "Hey, Lamar's like, I could have done a little bit better pass," and Andrews is like,
he could have played better in the entirety of the game, but
100%. And obviously, Andrews is like, I should have caught the ball. I mean, it's football. It's a two-way street. Both players are taking accountability.
Now the Derrick Henry one, I'll give you that. That could have been a better throw, but that Mark Andrews, the only way you could have thrown that. Only way you could have thrown that one better is to do a handoff. So I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, again, but Lamar owned his mistakes, so Matt respect. Like he owned it in the press conference, man. Like the guys can have a tremendous future in the NFL. It is what it is. There, it sucks, but got out game planned.
I was trying to find time of possession, but oh, here we go. 31 minutes, 44 seconds to 28-16.
Not bad.
Pretty even. I think if you run more, it would have been more on the Ravens. I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And more plays. Like I said, they kind of go together, but it's just like when you see Bills won and they had 3 double-digit plays.
Well, you literally said it. You literally made a great point earlier. This is why you pay Derrick Henry the money and you don't use them. It is what it is, but no.
In the most important moments, like I said, regular season, you trial and error.
It doesn't matter.
The most important game
playoffs matter
of the season for you, and you decide not to utilize arguably your best weapon outside of Lamar Jackson.
Right.
I'd like to give a shout out also to Likely. I like Likely.
He's a hell of a player.
He could be easily a tight end 1 some
On
team.
a lot of other teams.
He will be because Mark Andrews is probably getting traded for some stuff this year. It's already in the post.
Andrews ain't getting traded, man. He had one bad game.
No,
Andrews ain't getting
not numbers,
traded.
not for
Just
performance,
numbers.
just numbers, and he's up for his contract. And if they can get something out of it,
Andrews ain't going nowhere. Likely he'll go before him. I promise you that.
you can get more out of Andrews.
Bills or Giants, they'll take him. We'll take.
That's
If
what
you
I'm
want to
saying.
give Andrews up, we'll take him.
Hey man, it's already projected just because money, right?
Bills,
We'll see.
Bills don't need another tight end. They got
Hey,
Knox
is
and
not.
Kincaid.
Hey,
Kincaid and
we'll
Knox.
get rid of Knox. We'll get rid of Knox. Kincaid ain't gonna block nobody, so we'll take Andrews.
That's true. That would be true.